gonna step in here. Spirit's gonna step in here and say, "Wait a minute, now we moving this way today." Hey, what's up, Angela? Yeah, you guys, do me a favor and share the live to your story if you could, real quick. Share the live to your story. Sebastian, what's going on? Share the live to your story real quick if you could. I'd appreciate that. Share the live to your story. Let's get busy. Yeah, share the live to your story. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Love it. Red's in the building. What's up, Red? Love's in the building. What's up, Love? Des is in the building. Let's go, let's go, let's go. What we got, what we got, what we got, what we got. Laugh out loud, I see you. Sefe, my brother, I see you. Nitro, what's going on, Nitro? Mental health and well-being coach, I see you. I got you, Dave. I got you. No worry. Mantra, thank you so much. Thank you, Mama. I appreciate that. Okay, yep, I got you. I got you. I got you, Dave. Big Biz. Let a few more people get in and then we're gonna get rolling. I appreciate that. Yeah, I kickbox like, I don't know, probably 7 days a week. So I'm always, but I've been doing that for two decades now. So yeah, kickboxing is my thing. Slow Mo, what's going on, baby? All right, let's get busy. Let's get busy. We got a lot of ground to cover. We got a lot of ground to cover. A lot of ground to cover. A lot of ground to cover. Monica's in the building. What's up, Mama? So good to see you. We got a lot of ground to cover. Woo! A lot of ground to cover. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let me start out by saying this. This has nothing to do with the live. This is just appetizer on your plate here. But let me, Aquarian Goddess, what's up, Mama? So good to see you. Logan, what's up, Logan? Francis in the building. Let me say this to you guys. This is just awareness. Again, this is just next level, awareness here. There's really only one thing. That's it. There's really only one thing. There is nothing else. There's only one thing. And everything else in reality, everything in your life is coming from the absence of the one thing. What's the one thing, Coach? Love. That's all there is. And everything else happens because of the absence of love. I need you to understand that. And once you start to understand this from a self-awareness perspective, life will make sense to you. Things will begin to slow down for you, right? And you'll begin to master your understanding, not only of self, but of everything around you. There's only one thing. There is nothing else. There's just the one thing. And what's important for you to understand is that all of the violence, globally speaking, is because there's an absence of love. Your depression is happening because there's an absence of love. Your stress, your fear, your worry, your doubt, your limiting beliefs, your programming and condition, all of these different things are happening. Different versions of yourself and all of these other things like that are happening because there's an absence of love. I need you to understand that there's only one thing. There is nothing else. Everything else is the result of the one thing not being there. That person that disrespects you, love is not there. That person that projects the unhealed version of themselves onto you, love is not there. That person that criticized you, love is not there. That person that hurt you or abused you, love is not there. That person that had access to you during your developmental years and maybe they did some things to you that they shouldn't have done, love was not there. Anytime that love is not there, it opens the window for your suffering. That's what I need you to understand. So from this moment moving forward, you can never put yourself in an environment where love's presence isn't clearly seen and felt. I said from this, doesn't matter what happened yesterday. I said from this moment moving forward, you can no longer allow yourself to have certain people around you, certain things around you, place yourself in environments where you can't clearly see. I say clearly. See, people will tell you, oh, coach, love is blind. That sleeping people say things like that. Love is the most clear-sighted thing in the world. There's nothing more clear-sighted than love. It's the one thing that you can feel from anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter what language you speak. It breaks all language barriers. It transcends everything. And all of your suffering is happening because love's presence isn't in your life in that moment. And if you look back over your life right now, you'll see it. Why did the relationship fall apart? Because love's presence wasn't there. Why did that person cheat on you? Because love's presence wasn't there. Why did that person hurt you? Because love's presence wasn't there. Why did they project their wounds onto you? Because love's presence wasn't there. Why did your mother or your father walk away from you? Because love's presence wasn't there. Anytime that love's presence isn't there, which also means that God's not there, it opens the window for anything. Anything can go wrong. When love is not there, anything can go wrong. It's the equivalent of you driving down the street. You got a brand new Rolls Royce. You don't have no insurance on the car. Anything can happen. It could be a pothole in the road. It could be somebody running a red light. It could be someone hit you. It could be someone backing into the car. There's nothing protecting the car. Anytime you're the Rolls Royce in the story. So anytime that love's presence isn't in your life, isn't in your environment, it's like you driving down the street with no insurance. Park the car. Get the car out of that environment until you can put the right protection around it, period. If you choose to stay in some environment where love's presence isn't clearly seen and felt, then the problem is you. Don't blame the person. Especially after we've had this talk. If after this moment moving forward, you make the decision to stay in some environment, some relationship, some situation, some job where love's presence isn't clearly seen, and then you come back to me, coach, they hurt me and they disrespected me, I'm looking at you. I'm saying, you don't remember that live we had? We had this whole conversation. We had a whole discussion about this. Does that make sense? Everybody got that? Everything wrong that has ever happened in your life happened because love's presence wasn't there at that time. And if love's presence isn't there, why are you there? I'm just asking. If love's presence isn't there, why are you? I'm just asking. I'm not asking you to change anything. I'm just asking. It's a straight question. Deserves a straight answer. Why are you there if love isn't there? That part right there, because of your attachment to the person, because you think you need something from them, because you can't be happy without them. Because you are settling in that moment, because you're accepting less than you deserve, because you're not loving yourself, which still goes back to my point. Even before you get to the attachment, love's presence isn't there. That's why you attach. You're attached because you're not loving yourself. Because if you were loving yourself, you wouldn't be attached to anything. Love doesn't attach itself to anything. I need you to understand this. You were created to love, not to seek it. Somebody tricked you into believing that you are supposed to go out seeking love. You don't seek love because you are love. Why would love be looking for love? That doesn't even make sense. You can ask a 5-year-old kid that wouldn't make sense to a 5-year-old kid. And it most definitely should make sense to your spiritual mind. Why is love seeking love? Because that's not love that you're experiencing. That's need that you're experiencing. That's desire that you're experiencing. That's you projecting what you want onto someone else is what you're experiencing. It's not love that you're experiencing at all. Don't confuse that. You were created to love, not to seek it. Let me say that one more time, just in case your earpiece may have fallen out. You were created to love, not to seek love. And while you're in the process of loving everything that you see, not just the things that you want to love, you were created to love everything that you see, because you don't know, you have no idea how your love is going to impact that person that may have been thinking about going home in that moment and hurting themselves. And they just so happen to run across you. God put you in that person's path, but you're running a program in your mind where you only love people that fit the mental checklist that you've created in your mind with respect to who you think is a good person and who you think is deserving of your love and that's not how God moves. That's how you move it. He don't move like that. So I don't know where you picked that program up at, but you need to shut that down, because that's what's blocking you from your spiritual awakening. You have a mental checklist in your mind created by your programming and conditioning that says, I will only love the type of people that I want to love. I'll only say hi to the people that I want to say hi to. I'll only be nice to the people that are nice to me. I'll only show up for the people that show up for me. But if this person is rude and disrespectful to me, I lack the emotional intelligence in that moment to understand that this person is broken. They are disconnected from love in that moment, which is why the only thing that they can give me is pain. But my ego is so big. My ego is so big that it's blinding me from the love that I am. It's cut me off from the love that I am. And then my pride kicks in. And then my programming and conditioning kicks in. And then I reject the person that was already in pain. What a system you have. You were created to love, not to seek it. And what's going to happen to you is this. While you're in the business of being what you are, this is why I told you guys this the other day. Your purpose in life is just to be the most authentic version of yourself before you can become anything else. Before you start thinking about becoming a doctor, before you start thinking about becoming a nurse, before you start thinking about becoming the content creator or the teacher or the entrepreneur, I got to be me first. Before I can go and do anything else, I've got to insert me. Not the me that I'm pretending to be, just who I am. And I'm not going to stop being what God created me to be so that I can transform myself into a reflection of someone else's pain because I'm reacting to their anger. I'm reacting to their sadness. I'm reacting to their unhappiness because they don't hold me in a favorable light. But I lack the emotional intelligence to realize that they don't even hold themselves in a favorable light in that moment. When the person is projecting whatever it is that they're projecting onto you, they're already in pain. You don't see that? The person is already suffering. Of course they're going to project that onto you. How are they going to be suffering in that moment to give you love? They can't give you what they are not in possession of in that moment. But you living so much out of your ego and out of your pride, you too blind to see it. I'm a person of principle, coach. That's foolishness. I give people the same energy they give me. Foolishness. All of it. That's the weakest version of you. That's not the most powerful version of you. That's the weakest version of you. That is not the most powerful version of you. The person is already on fire. What are you throwing gasoline on the person for? You were supposed to show up and be the opposite of what they were. Tell me that isn't what God has been for you your entire life. All those moments when you would sit there and you were sad and you were depressed and you were unhappy and you were all of those things. He didn't show up and be a reflection of what you were. He showed up to be a reflection of and be the opposite of everything that you were experiencing in that moment. He was the opposite of that. If he had given you what you already were in that moment, he would have punished you even more. You were already that. No, you need to be the opposite of what someone is giving you in that moment. If they're giving me love, I'm going to give that back to them. See, that's what we talk about right there. The three most difficult things in the world are not physical feats or intellectual achievements. Can you return love for hate? That's what you were created to do. Can you return love for hate? The person is already hating themselves in that moment. That's why they projected that onto you. You don't see that? You allowing your ego and your pride to block you from being everything that God created you to be. You don't see that? The person already on fire. I can only give you what I'm in possession of. If I'm in possession of love in that moment, you will never get hate from me. You will never get anger from me. You will never get rage and frustration from me if I'm in possession of love in that moment. But if I'm in possession of my anger and my unhappiness, it's the only thing that I can give you. So in that moment, I'm already hurting. I don't know what I'm doing in that moment because I'm disconnected from the Creator in that moment. You don't see that? Don't hurt me any more than I already am. Yeah, I projected that onto you, but I didn't mean that. I'm disconnected from my higher self. I'm operating out of lower mind. I didn't mean that. In my right state of mind, I would have never done that to you. You don't see that? You'll never see it through the mind of your ego. Your ego won't allow you to see it. That person, come on, man. That's who you run to. See, you've been programmed and conditioned to run to all of the people that treat you the way that you want to be treated, that see you the way that you want to be seen, that validate you and all of these other things like that. You've been programmed and conditioned to run to those people. What God wants you to do is run to the people that don't celebrate you. Run to the people that don't love you. Go sit and have lunch with the people that don't like you and shift their perspective, because that's what love does. If all you do is hang out with the people that move the way you move and think the way you think and dress the way you dress and act the way you act, you're not powerful at all. Anybody can do that. You become powerful. See, I move away from the crowd. I don't walk with crowds. Because the crowd may distract me or may keep someone else from approaching me because they may think that they're bothering me. That's why I walk alone. Anytime you see me, you'll see me by myself. I promise you. I don't give a damn where you see me. You will see just me. And in that moment, I won't give you what you're giving me if what you're giving me is negative. Why? Because I understand what's happening to you. That's what God is doing on your spiritual awakening. He's opening your eye, not your EYE, your eye, your spiritual mind, so that you can see into people's pain, so that you know what to insert in that moment, so that you let people know it's going to be okay. You're fine. That's what you were created to do. You don't understand that? You think you were created to add people to your life. You think you were created to just go and be successful. You think you were created to be famous and popular and be some personality on social media. Somebody tricked you. They tricked you. Let me say this. The way that God sees your life and the way that you see your life are two completely different things. That's why you suffer. The way that God sees your life and the way that you see your life and the story that you've created in your mind about how you think your life should go, does not match the version of that story that exists in his mind. What he has planned for your life and what you think your life should be don't match. That's where all of your suffering is coming. So now you think you're behind. Now you think you don't have enough. Now you think you're not where you're supposed to be, and that's what's creating your suffering. So now your mind has become this constant state of dissatisfaction, and you're dissatisfied with things again because you don't understand what's happening. The way that you see your life in your mind and the way God sees your life are two completely different things. And it's not until through your spiritual awakening will you align what's going on in your mind with what's happening in his mind, which is reality. You're going to suffer. You're going to compare yourself to other people. You're going to think that you're not enough, or you're not, that you need more, that you're missing something, that there's something from you that's missing. Nothing is missing from you. You're exactly where you need to be right now in this moment in order for the transformation to happen, but you won't allow yourself to believe it. I can walk up to you right now and tell you you are the most amazing thing in the world, and you will find reasons to shoot that down. You'll find reasons not to believe that. But if I walk up to you and I disrespect you, if I walk up to you and I call you out of your name, you'll believe that. If I walk up to you and tell you you're not that pretty, or you're not that smart, or you're not that handsome, you'll believe that. But you won't believe me telling you you're the coldest thing walking, you're the baddest thing walking. You'll start to look for evidence to dismiss that. That's our programming and conditioning. Which also means you won't allow yourself to love yourself. Because we've been programmed and conditioned to pay attention to what's missing. People tell you all the time, gratitude is the attitude. That's not it. Gratitude is not the attitude. Paying attention to what's there is happiness. Paying attention to what's missing is suffering. And we've been programmed and conditioned to pay closer attention to what's missing than to what's there. That's the problem. It's nothing to do with gratitude. It has everything to do with you feeling like you're not whole in this moment. It's way deeper than gratitude. That's bumper sticker talk. Gratitude is the attitude. That sounds good on a t-shirt. You can't live your life that way. You won't become the most powerful version of yourself until you realize nothing is missing from you. You're not ahead. You're not behind. You're not winning, you're not losing. You're not okay, nor not okay. I'm not okay, coach. Well, what's okay? What's not okay? And whose ruler are you using when you measure yourself and you say that you're not okay? Because what you're doing in that moment is you are laying the groundwork for the day when someone tells you that you're not okay. Okay, you're you. Source energy. The divine in human form. You're neither okay nor not okay. You're not winning. You're not losing. Everything is fine. You're complete in this moment. See, people will tell you, coach, I am perfectly imperfect. Nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing could be further from the truth. No, you're perfect. Well, stop living out of that lie. You're perfect as you are right now. You are perfect as you are right now. The version of you that God created is perfect. It's unconditional love. That's the highest level of perfection. What are you talking about? Now, we have certain patterns and behaviors that are imperfect. There are certain beliefs that we entertain about ourselves that are imperfect. There are certain environments and different things that we set ourselves down in that are imperfect. But that you, man, come on, man. Tell me where God made a mistake on you. I'll give you 50 years to do it. Show me where God screwed up on you. I ain't talking about your friends, your neighbors, your kids. I'm telling you, tell me where he made the mistake on you. You are perfectly constructed. You are perfect as you are in this moment. What he created, what he put in you, the unconditional love, the unwavering belief, the faith that's in you, the trust that's in you, the security that's in you, everything that's in you. We entertain thoughts that make us feel imperfect. We have certain habits and routines that make us feel imperfect, but that has nothing to do with your being. It has everything to do with your doing, not your being. Your being is perfect. That's why I tell you guys all the time, you're a masterpiece and a work in progress, right? The masterpiece aspect of you is the version of you that God created. The work in progress is you setting down your programming and conditioning. You no longer projecting onto the present moment. You shattering the story in your mind about what you think reality should be for you in order for you to be happy. And then perfection comes out. You're already perfect. Don't listen to all that bumper sticker talk. I'm perfectly imperfect. Stop with all of that. Don't do that to yourself. We add things to our lives that diminishes what was already perfect. We add people, we add environments, we add habits, we add routines, we add programming and conditioning, we add things. It's like you going out and getting the Rolls Royce. The day you go buy the Rolls Royce is perfect. You ain't need to touch it. You didn't took the rims off and put some old aftermarket rims. You didn't change the windows in the car. You didn't change the seats. You didn't mess the car up. The car was perfect when you bought it. When you came into the world, you were already perfect. We start adding things to ourselves. It diminishes the perfection that was already there. That's what self-awareness is doing, is trying to get you to deprogram all of that. Does that make sense? All right. CM8, I see you. Yeah. What you mean you're not perfect? No, because when you say that, man, don't run that program. Don't run that program. Do not run that program. You are already perfect. I may have some habits, coach, that are imperfect. I get you on that. I may entertain some beliefs sometimes, coach, that are imperfect. I get you on that. I may sometimes live out of my programming and conditioning and project that onto my reality. That's imperfect. But all of those things are things that are happening outside of me. It has nothing to do with the Rolls Royce that I am. Don't let somebody trick you into believing that. Don't let somebody trick you into believing that. The moment that you think something is missing, you'll be chasing things for the rest of your life. You're already perfect. You can't add anything to you. We just need to drop some things so that perfection can really shine through. Not a single thing missing from love. Love needs nothing. You don't need to add sugar to it. You don't need to add coffee to it. You don't need to add a certain city, country, state, continent. You don't need to add anything to it. It's perfect. In fact, the moment you add something to it, you're going to ruin it. That's what you are. You're unconditional love. You are happiness. You are a potential, right? You don't have potential. You are potential. You are consciousness. You don't have consciousness. You are consciousness. You don't add anything to those things. You get out of the way. Get out of love's way. Stop asking it to validate you. Stop asking it to believe in you. Stop asking it to show up for you because you're behind the 8 ball, not in front of it. You're the most powerful thing because it's what you are. You got to put everything down. That part right there, Monica, you got to put everything down. Going back to my original point, there's only one thing. That's why you're perfect, because there's only one thing. We ain't got 10 things or 50 things or 1,000,000 things or 1,000,000,000 things. There's only one thing. There's only one thing. The only thing in this entire world. I'll give you 50 years to think about it, and you're going to come back to, this is universal truth I'm giving you. There's only one thing. Well, what's the one thing, coach? Love. What's the one thing? God. And everything else is only an absence of that, period, point blank. All of the violence comes from that. All of the wars comes from that. There's an absence of love there. Love's not there. And when love's not there, the attachment happens. When love that's not there, the wounds come out. When love is not there, depression happens. When love is not there, unhappiness happens. When love is not there, the fights break out. Look at look over your life. Look over your life and look at every negative thing that has ever happened in your life. And I promise you, if you sit here for 5 seconds and you look back over your life, you'll see it. Anytime that something went wrong, it's because love was not there. Just look back. It's right in front of you. That person that lied, that person that cheated, that person that did this, the person that did that. What was the common denominator? What was missing? So from this moment moving forward, that your mindset has to be, I will never allow myself, I don't care how painful it is, I will never allow myself to be in an environment where love's presence isn't clear and felt from the gate. The moment that love walks out of that door, you better be right behind it. Because when love is not there, disrespect is there. When love is not there, abuse is there. When love is not there, unhappiness is there. People projecting their wounds onto you. All of the drama starts. When love leaves the party, I'm out. As soon as I see love reaching for the coat, I'm gone. I don't want to be here anymore because I don't want to open the window for what might potentially happen and someone project, I'm out. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. There's nothing to talk about after that. It's gone. I'm out. How do you master your life? Follow that formula right there. How do you master your life? Follow the formula. It's simple. Always be where love is, and where love is not, you shouldn't be there either, period. It's a simple formula. I'm telling you, Lala, I'm telling you, as soon as love we start reaching for the coat, I'm out. Love is like, where are my keys at? I'm out, I'm gone. Love is out, I'm out. I don't want to hear it. Stop looking outside of yourself for your value. This is all going back to what I'm talking about with respect to the love. Stop looking outside of yourself for your value. Self-respect, self-worth, and self-love all start with you. If you're not in possession of those things, what are we doing here? The self-worth, the self-respect, the self-love starts with you. So if you're not consistently giving those things to yourself, let me tell you what happens to you in that moment. Now you're operating from a place of need. Now I'm out looking for something that only I can give me. That's how the attachments get created. That's how we start clinging to people, because you've tricked yourself into believing that you could find those things outside of yourself. But the $1 billion question is, what's blocking their presence in your life right now? That's the most important thing in the world. Self-respect comes from you. Self-worth comes from the relationship you have with yourself. Self-love comes from you. What could possibly be happening in your life right now where you are not willing to give yourself? What does it cost you? Anything. But we'll give ourselves the depression. We'll give ourselves the unhappiness. We'll give ourselves the moodiness and the gloominess, but we won't give ourselves what we need to transform ourselves into the most powerful version of us. Nothing is more important than that. And then we have the audacity, when we're not giving ourselves the self-love and the self-worth and the self-respect, we have the audacity to add someone new to our lives, thinking that this person is going to give you everything that you weren't willing to give yourself. And then we wonder why we keep getting in these relationship cycles where this relationship is falling apart and this one is falling apart and this one is falling apart. It fell apart because you showed up incomplete. Two incomplete people don't make a complete relationship. Two incomplete people create a codependent relationship where you guys are going to drain each other. Why? Because that person was an energetic match to everything you weren't giving yourself. You weren't loving yourself. You weren't respecting yourself. Your self-worth was low. Well, guess what? So was theirs. They were an energetic match to everything you were not willing to give yourself. That's why the relationship suffocated. And that's the thing about it. You're already whole, but you're entertaining thoughts that make you feel incomplete. You're entertaining thoughts that make you feel unworthy or unlovable. So that's what's blocking happiness's presence in your life, because you're not willing to tune into that frequency because you're too busy hanging on to a thought that's keeping you in a lower frequency. That's what's happening to you. One more time, stop looking outside of yourself for the value. Give the value. You are the value. The value doesn't come from anything happening outside of you. The value is what you bring to the moment. Value is what you bring to the table. Worth comes from you. Value comes from what you bring to the table of every single person that you encounter. They're two completely different things. Your value can fluctuate. Your worth should never fluctuate, because it's predicated on the relationship you have with you. I don't have the power or the ability to impact your self-worth. No human being does. There's not a single person on the planet that can impact the way you feel about you. Not one. Not one. Value and worth are two completely different things, and most people get it wrong because you don't understand the difference between the two. One more time. Value comes from what you bring to the table of other people. Worth comes from you. Your value can change. Why? Because your external circumstances may change. That's why your value can change. We get that part. Worth is something that should never change. And value will always be predicated on where you get sat down at. Wherever you set yourself down at, your value is going to change, depending upon the environment that you're in that moment. Let me qualify that. Worth never changes, value changes. Let me qualify that. You take a bottle of water, okay? Watch this. Take a bottle of water. When you take that bottle of water, let's say you bought a bottle of water at the dollar store. It only costs you $1. That same bottle of water that only costs you $1 at the dollar store, now you go to the convenience store. You go to the A&PM or the 7-Eleven or the Quickie Mart. Now that same dollar bottle of water might cost you $2.50. You take that same $2.50 bottle of water and you take it to the movie theater. When you take it to the movie theater, it costs $7 now. Same water. But they're charging $7 now. Now I take that same bottle of water to the NBA Finals. This is Game 7. I'm paying $20 for the same water that I bought at the Dollar Tree for $1. What am I saying here? It all is predicated on the environment that you set yourself down in. That's what's going to determine your value. It's not the people, it's the environment. I get the bottle of water at the Dollar Tree. It only costs me $1. I take that to the 7-Eleven. Now it costs me $2.50. I take that to the movie theater. Now it costs me $7.50. I take that to the NBA Finals. I'm paying $20 for the same water. You got to pay attention to who you allow to have access to you and what environment you place yourself in, because it's going to determine your value. The problem is not your value. The problem is people's vision, because their vision won't allow them to see your value. Why? Because they are used to having access to people that are liabilities. You represent the asset. They're not used to having access to people that are an asset like you. So when they're not used to having access to people that are an asset like you, they have no choice but to project some lower frequency, some lower thought, some lower appraisal with respect to who you are. It's all about the people that you allow to have access to you, period. So don't complain when you surrounding yourself around Dollar Tree caliber people. No, you need to surround yourself with NBA Finals caliber people so that they can appreciate your worth and see your value. didn't change, but the environment changed. And because the environment changed, your value changed. Why? Because the people in each environment were operating out of different programming and conditioning. Some people could see your value. Other people couldn't see your value. They couldn't see it. But see, you'll think something's wrong with you. You trying to make changes to yourself. You trying to adjust yourself. You lowering your standards. You doing it. Some of you guys are walking around with Dollar Tree caliber people in your life. That's why you stuck. Some of you guys are walking around right now with Dollar Tree caliber people in your life. So in their minds, everything is $1. And in their mind, everything is cheap. Why? Because again, the way that when a person looks at you, they don't actually see you. They're looking at you through the filter of their programming and conditioning. And if they don't place high value on themselves, they won't know how to place high value on you. How am I going to place high value on you and I don't even know how to place it on myself? How can I appreciate you if I don't even know how to appreciate me? So I appraise you low because I appraise myself low. Has nothing to do with you. But you think it's something wrong with you. No, it's the person. Again, the problem is never your value. The problem is their vision. Because their vision doesn't allow them to see your value. Because their vision is predicated on their programming and conditioning, their past experiences, who they think they are, and how much they believe and love themselves. And they project that onto you. But self-worth comes from you. It has nothing to do with the environment that you are in. It has everything to do with the relationship that you have with yourself. What's the relationship with you like? That has to be the most powerful relationship on the planet. The relationship you have with God and the relationship you have with yourself should be the most powerful relationship you have. It should be where there's unconditional love, where there's the highest level of respect, where there's the highest level of validation, where there's the highest level of belief, where there's the highest level of faith, where there's the highest level of trust, where there's the highest level of I can, I will. Not I'm not this and I'm not that and I'm not worthy and I'm not lovable and I'm not all of these things. Man, we got to get rid of that now. That has to go now. And the reason why that has to go now is because the way you see you, I'm going to see you. Don't ruin my opportunity to see greatness in you because you don't see it in yourself. Because if I walk around and treat myself like a 5-star person, I won't even be an energetic match for you. I'll walk right past you like a ship, like 2 ships in the night. I'll never get to meet you. And the reason why I never get to meet you is because I have 5-star respect for myself. So if you're walking around with 2-star respect for yourself, we'll miss each other. Not because I'm better than you, not because you're not good enough, because of what you were radiating in that moment. Because of what the signal and the frequency that you were emitting in that moment. I'll miss you like this. Look at all of the opportunities that you are missing out on in life because you have low levels of belief in yourself, low levels of faith in yourself. You don't trust yourself, which is why you step outside of yourself to ask everyone their opinion about what you should do next and what you should do with this and your career opportunities and all of those things. And you're running a program in your mind. Your mind doesn't trust itself. It doesn't trust itself because you always step outside of yourself to ask someone else their opinion about what you should do with your life. And here's what's worse. What are you signaling to God in that moment? We're going to live in the truth here. What are you signaling to God in that moment? When you go outside and go talk to all of these people that don't know any more than you. You go talk to all of these people that know no more than you, but you don't talk to him. The one who got the whole playbook, the one who's putting the whole plan together for your life. You don't want to talk to him, but you'll go talk to John over here. You'll go talk to Lisa over here. You'll go talk to Stephanie. They don't know how to get their life jump started. How they going to tell you how to take your life to the next level? They pretending just like you. So you're going to go over here and talk to this person, but you won't talk to God. And then as soon as that falls apart, guess who you're going to run to? He's going to be the first one you run to. You run to him when you got a problem, but you don't run to him when everything is going the way you think it should be going. We bring the problems to him. We don't bring the victory. Look at the relationship you got. I'm not asking you to do anything different. I'm asking you to look at the relationship you got. I take everything that's good to him. I take everything that's bad to him. I take everything that I'm thinking about or contemplating. And then guess what I do? Go sit out in nature so he can talk to you. Get away from the crowds. Remove yourself from the circles and all these people. Remove yourself from social media. Remove yourself from the distractions and all of the noise so that you can hear. Your brain is so crowded with everyone else's opinion, you can't hear his. You don't know how to differentiate between what he's trying to tell you and what all these other people are telling you because you got so much information you consuming from people that you shouldn't even be talking to. Every single human being is a mistake-making machine. They have made just as many mistakes as you have failed just as many times as you have done all of the types of things that you have done. They're the last people you should be talking to. You should only be talking to him. And the only way you should be talking to another person is if that person has the life that you want. Not the life you kind of want, not the life you think you want. They have exactly what you want in that moment. Why? Because now you can help me now I know that God put you in my life. And I know that he put you in my life because you are already having the life that I want. Now I'm a student. And I'm going to follow you and I'm going to listen. I'm going to implement. Why? Because you can help me sidestep all of the roadblocks and the obstacles and the pitfalls and the spending more money than I needed to spend and stressed out and worried. There's none of that because you're going to help me get from A to Z. This is wormhole effect. You should never take advice from a person that has never been where you are trying to go. Because the only thing that that person can do in that moment is project their fears onto you, project their doubts onto you, project their programming and conditioning. And they may mess around and project onto you some seed of doubt. Now you questioning the opportunity. Why? Because they projected their fear onto you. You should never take advice from a person that has never been where you are trying to go. If you don't have the life that I want, there's nothing for us to talk about. Now, we can talk about sports. We can talk about the weather. We can talk about what's going on in football or baseball or whatever the case may be. But I will not take my life and set it in your hands so that you can project your fears and your limitations, your doubts onto me. And now you got me questioning myself. Absolutely not. That's the biggest mistake we make. We start oversharing. You don't know where to turn. One more time, you should have been turning to God. You turn into a person. That's why you get hurt. There's only one person you should be talking to. The only person that's got the playbook to your life. You talking to someone who haven't figured out who they are yet. I'm telling you. That's why we stay stuck in life. We too busy talking to people that have never been where we're trying to go. And that's no disrespect to them. That's no shade on them or anything like that. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way at all. Just stop talking to people that have never been where you're trying to go because you guessing like me. If I've never been there and you've never been there, we both guessing. I don't need your guessing. I need accuracy. We walking around here guessing and all of these assumptions. Why? Because assumptions materialize into belief. You don't know that? Assumption, belief, experience. That's the whole formula for your life. And you probably never even realized that. That's the whole formula for your entire life. That's how your entire life became exactly what it is right now. It started out with an assumption. It was something, you had an assumption about something. And see, assumptions that go unchallenged become beliefs. So first there was an assumption, and then you put a belief around that assumption. And the belief is what creates the experience. That's what makes you powerful, is that you are unwavering belief. You attach belief to everything. You attach belief to the things you can do, and you get the experience from that. But you also attach belief to the things that you can't do. That's what doubt is. It's believing in something that you can't do. So no matter what, you always are running with belief in you. But the formula to your life is assumption, belief, experience. What creates the experience is the belief, not the assumption. You assume something. I can do this. I can do that. I can be this. I can be that. But in that a moment, the assumption doesn't have enough weight to materialize by itself. So you attach belief to it. Boom! C4 now. Now the experience manifests. Your entire life, if you look back over your life, you'll see it. If you look back, I almost wrote a book on that. People don't know the power. I'm telling you, the majority of the beliefs that you have in your mind right now were really just assumptions. And just because you believe it doesn't mean it's true. It just means you believe it. Doesn't mean it's true. So you have an assumption about something. I can do this. I can do that. I can become a content creator. I can become an author. I can become a public speaker. I can become a life coach. I can become a fill in the blank, NBA player, whatever. Wonderful. It's true. You can. So you have the assumption. And because you think about the assumption with such repetition that it becomes a belief. That's all a belief is. A belief is a thought that you have entertained repeatedly, so much so that it has crystallized in your mind. Most people don't understand that. The belief is what creates the experience. I'm telling you, Sefe, my book, bro, that's what we were going to call it. I was going to call it Assumptions. Something with assumptions in the title. Because we don't understand how much our lives are governed by something that we assumed in the beginning. I'm going to give you a perfect example of what I'm saying. Everybody on here has had this happen to you at least one time. You met someone. Come on, watch it. Come on. You got to watch this. You met someone in the beginning, right? And this was a romantic encounter, right? This is what was a romantic encounter. You met this person. I'm just going to show you how assumptions govern your life. You met someone in the beginning. You really like this person. Oh, I'm talking about you was head over heels for this person. So when you met this person in the beginning, you exchanged numbers with that person. And when you exchange numbers with that person, maybe you let a day go by, 2 days go by, or maybe you text them that day. Who knows? But the point not to be missed is this. You sent them some text. And when they didn't respond to the text in the time frame that you thought they should, you instantly started assuming all of these things. They don't like me. Oh, I should have waited. I shouldn't have done this. You start creating come on. You started creating all of these stories in your mind about what you thought they were thinking and why they weren't responding to you and all of these other things like that. And then one day, it may be a day later on that night or the next day, that person called you, right? And they're like, oh, my bad. I'm so sorry. My mom was in the hospital, or this happened. And in that moment, you allowed yourself to experience relief and you shut the story down. But prior to you hearing from that person, you had created all of these stories in your mind about what you thought was going on. You've been doing that your whole life. Your assumptions create so much stress, so much worry, so much depression, so much anxiety. Why? Because you're projecting onto reality that doesn't actually match or fit with reality at all. It's only the reality that exists in your mind. And that's where all of the suffering is coming from. I'm telling you, assumptions is a bad boy. It goes assumptions, belief, experience. You created the emotional experience because you made an assumption about something. You believed whatever it was you assumed, and you created the emotional experience in you. The reality had nothing to do with that. Don't blame reality. Don't blame God. Don't blame your significant other. Or maybe you thought your partner was cheating on you. Right? There may have been a day when you thought your partner was cheating on you. You created a whole story in your mind about what you thought was going on. And from that came the beliefs. And from that came the experience, right? Come to find out, that wasn't what was going on at all. But it was this whole experience that was happening in your mind. I'm telling you, man, we don't understand when you don't master. This is why I tell people the worst thing that you can do is assume something. You always stand in the truth. If I can't speak my truth in the relationship, I don't want to be in it. I'm out. Let me just pack my little bags and get out of here. I don't want to be in it. If I can't be who I am, if I can't speak my truth, if I've got to turn down the volume of my voice, if I've got to walk on eggshell, because I'm not giving you the best version of me, I'm giving you the weakest version of me. And not only am I giving you the weakest version of me, I'm creating a program in my mind where I'm going to take that program and I'm going to enter into every new relationship running that same program. Shrinking in the moment, turning down the volume on my voice, walking on eggshells, making all of these assumptions and all of these other things. I ain't got time to live like that. Life is too short for you to live like that. If you are in a situation right now where you can't speak your truth, why are you there? If you're afraid to speak your truth because this person might walk away or if the situation might become confrontational, you guys might, why are you there? I'm just asking. I'm not asking you to leave. I'm asking you, why are you there? Because how do you ever become the most powerful version of yourself, being the weakest version of yourself at the same time? The weakest version of you is the version of you that shrinks. The weakest version of you is the version of you that turns down the volume. The weakest version of you is the version of you that sees something that's wrong, but you don't want to say it. You don't want to address what's going on. So you shrink in a moment, go to war against your own mind, start creating all of these assumptions that materialize into beliefs, that materializes into your emotional experience, and now you sitting here suffering. You a prisoner in your own relationship. Now I can't do that. I'm sorry, I'd rather be by myself. I'd rather be sleeping in a tent somewhere in the park, me and some birds, than to sit here and be in a relationship with someone where I can't show up as the most powerful version of me. Can't do it. Now, I understand you might have done it in all of your yesterdays. I get all of that. That's over. When you got time to talk about yesterday, because yesterday is not talking about you. I promise you, wherever yesterday is, it's not talking about you right now. Stop talking about yesterday. Focus on who you are in this moment and who you need to transform yourself into. That's the only thing that matters. Baddest thing on the planet is you. And I'm not letting go of you until we both realize that. We running through walls. Period. Me and you. We ain't worried about the rest of everybody else. We running through a wall. I'm telling you, I'm not letting go of you until that happens. That's my assignment. That's what God created me to do. To make sure. Why? Because you are that special. Your life is that special. You mean that much to him. And if you mean that much to him, you mean that much to me. Period, point blank. I don't even need to know about what happened yesterday. I will never hold that against you. I don't even want to know. You ain't even got to tell me. Coach, I made this mistake. You talking to the wall because it's not important to me. What's important is what we do right now. That's what's important. Let's push the chips to the center of the table. Let's see what we have and let's build from there. Can't build in yesterday, so why are we talking about yesterday? Again, the way you see your life is not the same as the way that God sees your life. That's what's creating so much of your suffering. You're looking at your life and you're thinking, I'm not where I should be. I don't have what I should have. I don't have the type of relationship that I want. I don't have this. I don't have that. You're looking at all of the things that you're not, which means that you're doing subtraction, not addition. Right? You're waking up and paying closer attention to what's missing versus to what's there. And that's what's producing the suffering. Now, reality is not doing that to you. God is not doing that to you. No one is doing that to you but you. And you'll never transform into the version of yourself if you think that something is missing from you. Happiness means that there's nothing missing from my moment, coach. There is nothing missing from my moment. I love every single chapter that brought me here. Some of you guys are stuck in life right now because you don't love the book. The book that you don't love the book. You may love certain chapters of the book, but you don't love the book in its entirety. There are things in the book called you that you don't love, that you're rejecting, that you're suppressing, that you're avoiding, that you're running away from. And that's what's producing so much. That's what's blocking love's presence in your life. You can't, unconditional love will not be there if you're not fully showing up as the most powerful version of yourself. And it doesn't cost you money to be the most powerful version of you. It doesn't cost you some Harvard education. It doesn't cost effort. It doesn't cost anything. It costs a decision that I'm going to love everything that I am right now in this moment. Because if I don't love everything that I am right now in this moment, the world won't either. I tell you guys this all the time. You don't feel good because the world outside of you is right. The world outside of you becomes right when you feel good. When you love you, the world will love you. But when you're rejecting you, the world will reject you because you're radiating from that space. You're vibrating from that space. You're attracting rejection. You're not attracting love into your life because you're not love. How you going to attract love from a place where you're void of it? How you going to do that? How do you attract love from a place of non-love? How you do it? So you add someone to your life, and the person that you add to your life, right? Because you weren't loving you, they weren't loving themselves. They're an energetic match for you. But they showed up pretending. Oh, they got you with the pretending. They were pretending to have it all together. And 6 months later, you started to see that what you created in your mind with respect to who you thought they were was not the real reality. You started to see cracks in the concrete of who they are. You started to see the cracks. You started to see the little micro fractures. You started to see where the story wasn't adding up. You started to see, but in that moment, you were already emotionally invested, so you stayed the course. Because you had tricked yourself into believing that you could change the person. When the only thing you needed to change was yourself. Had you changed yourself, the person would have changed simultaneously. All you have to do is change you. You don't have to change the world outside of you. You change you. When you change you, the world outside of you changes. Why? Because the world outside of you is only the mirror to who you are. Everything is reflecting you back to you. You don't have to change anything outside of you. Just change you. When you change, the world changes. But if you're trying to change the image in the mirror, you're trying to get the image in the mirror to smile. No, you got to smile first. When you smile, the image in the mirror smiles. You trying to get the image in the mirror to smile, but you're not smiling. When you change yourself, the image in the mirror changes simultaneously. We've been programmed and conditioned to only focus on what's being reflected back to us, not to one that's giving the reflection to begin with. Change the one that carries the reflection. Change the one that carries the reflection. Make sense? Work on being in love with the person you see in the mirror each day. Do that for me. I don't ask you guys for a lot. In fact, I don't ask you guys for anything other than to share it alive to your stories. I'm asking you for this. It's the only thing I'm asking you for. It's the only thing I'll ever ask you for. Fall in love with the person that you see in the mirror each day. That's the whole art to life. Fall in love with that person. Right? Work on being in love with the person you see in the mirror each day. The one who's still standing. That's what I need you to do. Fall in love with the one who's still standing. Fall in love with the most consistent thing in your life, which is you. Fall in love with that one that went through all of the traumatic situations with you. Fall in love with that one that went through all the drama with you. Fall in love with that one that went through all of the divorces with you and all of those things. Give yourself the love that you are seeking from someone else. Before you give it to anyone else, give it to yourself first. The one that's been standing there, the most consistent thing in your life, the real ride or die, the one that's been showing up for you, the one that believes in you, the one that's been waiting for you to wake up and go and be everything that you need to be, and then fall in love with every single version of yourself that you had to become. Leading up to this moment, maybe you accepted some things that you should have. I get that. Maybe you stayed in certain relationships past their expiration date. I get that. Maybe you were seeing someone through their potential and not through the reality of who they are. I get that. Maybe you were ignoring certain red flags because you were hoping for green flags later. I get all of that. All of those versions of you that you had to become leading up to this moment all reside within you right now. They're cheering for you. Go to war for them. Go hard for them. Damn the person you trying to impress. Damn that person not going to be with you. Damn the person that you're trying to impress. Damn the people on social media. Damn the people at your job. Go hard for all of those versions of yourself that you had to become to get to this moment, because they all deserve a seat at the table of who you are. Don't hate them for what they are not. Love yourself for everything that you are. Because if you can't love you for everything that you are, the world will never reflect that back to you. The world will reject you because you reject you. How is someone else going to love you and you don't love you fully and completely? But the day that you love yourself fully and completely, the world will love you as well. All right. Sip that, don't drink it. Sip that, don't drink it. You owe yourself the same love you so freely give to everyone else. You owe that to you. More than anybody else on the planet. I will fight you for that. I won't fight you for anything else. I will fight you for that. Before you start giving that love out to all of these people that aren't deserving of it, the people that weren't there for you in the trenches, the people that weren't there for you in those nights when you didn't feel like getting out of bed and you weren't motivated and you weren't inspired, you were there. When no one else was there, you were there. When people stopped believing in you, you were there. When people stopped showing up for you and all of those things, you were there. When you didn't know if there was going to be a way, you were there. And then God was there. That's your team. We don't hear about nobody else. That's your team. I go hard for the team. I rock with who rocks with me, not when things are beautiful and everything is lined up and all of those other things like that. Of course, you got people around you when your life is going like that. Who was there when no one else was there? That's what I want to know. That's who you go hard for. That's your team. The people that were there for you in the dark, that's your team. And the last time I checked, you were there for all of it. Whether someone else was there or not, it was you and God. And all of the suffering was just a divine push. That's all it was. It was just a little divine push. He was telling you everything gonna be fine. You're gonna be all right. That was it. All right. That part right there, Ava. That part right there. For anyone that's new to the platform, my name is Jordan Williams. For all of the people that were looking for motivation and looking for inspiration today, hopefully I was able to deliver that for you guys. Go hard for you. You deserve that more than anybody else. You deserve that more than anything else. Go hard for you. Go take yourself to lunch today. Go take yourself to the beach. If you live near a body of water, go buy yourself some flowers today. Don't wait on someone else to buy you that. Go buy yourself some flowers. Go take yourself to a nice dinner. Go take yourself to that new movie premiere or whatever the case may be. Go get yourself a new outfit today. Go get your hair done today. Go get your nails done today. Shower you. And wait on someone else to do it for you. Shower you. Give yourself everything that you were waiting on someone else to give you. Give it to you first. Because you set the blueprint for the way I'm going to treat you. Once I see you treating yourself like a 5-star person, I will be a reflection of that. But if you don't treat yourself like a 5-star person, I won't either. And then one day you might have some awakening where all of a sudden you start treating yourself like a 5-star person. And then you expect me to. It's already over with. You already messed up. The blueprint, the cement is set already. You got to understand that. When you add someone to your life, if you're not already treating yourself like a 5-star person, you already set the cement. The cement is dry now. Now you're asking this person to break up the cement and start treating you all different because you've had some awakening. No, don't do that to yourself. Start loving yourself right now. Start believing in yourself right now. Shower yourself with faith and trust and hope and all of those things right now. And then you set the blueprint for me. So when I meet you, I can only mirror what you bring into the moment. But don't add someone to your life and you ain't loving yourself and you ain't showing up for yourself and you don't believe in yourself and you unhappy and you're depressed and you don't like your life and all of those things like that. The person's like, oh, okay, your life is easy. And then all of a sudden you have some awakening and now you become this 5-star person. You didn't ruin the relationship. No, don't do that to yourself. Before you add anyone to your life, give yourself everything that you want this new person to give you. Because if you don't give it to you first, you'll never get it from them. And the last time I checked, it's free to love yourself. The last time I checked, it's free to believe in yourself. The last time I checked, it's free to show up for yourself. The last time I checked, it's free to go hard for you. The last time I checked, it's all free. The happiness is free. It's all free. It doesn't cost you a dime. So you ain't got to start reaching for your purse. It don't cost you anything. It's a decision that I'm going to love every single component and aspect to who I am. I'm going to love myself the way I'm constructed right now. Not I'll love myself when I get in shape. I'll love myself when I lose 20 or 30 pounds, coach. I'll love myself when I get my life coach certification. We ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for none of that. Love yourself right now because all you have is right now. Don't hold your love hostage. Don't hold the happiness hostage because you're waiting on some desire you have or some achievement or you're waiting to add someone to your life. So you're going to hold yourself hostage until you get the thing. All you have is right now. This moment is right now. The future exists right now. The past, the future, and the present moment all exist at the same time. Every version of yourself that you have ever been throughout the course of your life all exists in this moment. It's all about what frequency do you want to tap into? What version of them do you want to tap into? But they're all available to you right now. That's a diamond hard fact. The most powerful version of you is available to you right now. The weakest version is available to you right now. That's a diamond hard fact. The unhealed version of you is available to you right now. The healed version is available to you right now. That's a diamond hard fact. It's all about what frequency do I want to tune into? What frequency do I want to experience? But they're all available to you right now. You're choosing the weakest experience. That's a choice. Has nothing to do with reality, has nothing to do with God. Let's not blame them. Has nothing to do with your circumstances. Let's not blame them. It has everything to do with the lack of awareness. You don't understand how you work. That's my job to help you fix that. All right, real quick, boom. My name is Jordan Williams. I am a certified life coach. I specialize in self-awareness and self-mastery, just helping people to become the most powerful versions of themselves. I am also the best-selling author of this book, The Secret of Awareness. How powerful are you ready to be? This is where it starts. If you don't have this book, this is the one you need. Okay, you can get the book on Amazon. If you want a physical copy like this, you can get the book on Amazon. It's the only book you need. It's the book that's changing the world. I'm just be honest with you because you're going to find you in the book. I created a community. And the name of the community is Mindset Masters. And I created a community with two of my business partners, Sonia Garza and Veronica Gramada. And I'm telling you now, the community is what you need. That's just the bottom line. The community is what you need. If you're on some spiritual journey, if you're trying to become the most powerful version of yourself, if you are ready to become a master of self, where you're studying self-awareness and you're studying self-mastery and you're studying emotional intelligence and you're studying synergistic relationships and just really how to become relationship mastery and all of those other things, this is the community for you. All of my live streams are archived there. My podcast is archived there. I write several times throughout the day. It's Harvard for your mind. Just think of it that way. This community is Harvard for your brain. Well, when you walk out, when you walk out on the other side of this community, you will be a version of yourself that will run circles around the current version of you right now. That's a diamond hard fact. 30 days with me in this community, and if I take the version that's if you show up. Now, if you don't show up and if you don't bring a burning desire, you won't get the transformation that you're looking for, not because the community didn't bring it, because you didn't bring it. So in this moment, hang on real quick, you guys. So in this moment, if you are really truly ready to take me on as your life coach, as your mentor, and as your accountability partner, I'm going to be honest with you. I go hard. When it comes to my students, I go hard. I don't do excuses because excuses don't build empires. Excuses will never take you to kingdom mentality. Excuses will never help you to transform into the version of yourself that God wants you to be. So it's about taking care of your physical, taking care of your mental, taking care of your spiritual, taking care of your emotional, because those things govern your life more than anything else. And if you're not right in your mind, I don't care what you add to your life, you'll never become the most powerful version of yourself. Happiness doesn't exist in anything outside of you. It starts with you. So type me in the comments, you guys, if you are truly ready to take your life to the next level and join the Mindset Masters community today. This is what it's all about. Mindset Masters right here. It's everything. Don't type me if you don't have a burning desire to become something greater than you are right now. Please do not type me. You don't owe me a favor. I don't need you guys to do me any favors. You owe it to you, but you definitely don't owe it to me. Danny, you already in the community. Show little self. Okay, so look, this is all you have to do. Can someone pin the link to the page, please? You guys can, you'll have to leave, exit the live. Vanny, you can pin it. Thank you, Mama. So pin you guys hold that link down, copy and paste that link, hold it down, put it in your browser. When you put it in your browser, it'll take you to the sign up page. Once you get signed up, you're good. It's only gonna take you 60 seconds to get signed up. And the entire community is $1 a day, $29 a month, no obligations, no contracts, no any of that. I am cheaper than your cell phone, but I will bring 1,000 times more value than your cell phone could ever bring you. I am cheaper than your water bill. I am cheaper than everything, but I will bring more value to your life than all of those things. Because once you become the most elevated version of yourself and you become the most powerful version of yourself, you're unstoppable at that point in time. And when you get signed up today, you guys, you're going to get a free copy of the book. So when you get signed up today, you're going to get a free copy of the ebook. Okay. You won't get a physical copy of the book. You'll get a copy of the ebook. So just send me your first name, last name, and your email address once you're inside of the community. Again, once you're inside of the community, send me your email address. Oh, Danny, thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mama. I appreciate that. Yeah, so again, you're going to get a free copy of the book today. So you're already getting something free. Because the community costs you, the book is $29. The community costs you $29. So just think about what I'm saying. Something you're getting for free. So you already win it. Somebody saying she can't click the link. So, okay, so we'll go to my profile page. So you'll have to exit out of the live. When you go to my profile page, Jordan, when you go to my profile page, exactly. Go to my profile page and then you'll see join now. Click that link and you'll see Mindset Masters Co. And just click that link and it'll take you where you need to be. It'll take you to the sign up page. Yep. I got you, Jordan. And then Jordan, once you get inside of the community, send me your email address. Just say, hey, coach, I just signed up. Send me your email address, and then you'll have the book by the end of the day. Somebody said, what's the question? Any other questions related to the community? Any other community related questions? Where's all my people that were talking about they needed motivation and inspiration? Where are all my motivation and inspiration people? And because I'm trying to see if you guys, if I delivered that for you guys today. Yep. Lula, yes, I do. I do one-on-ones. Yep, I do one-on-ones. I don't know if y'all ready for the one-on-one,
I don't know if you're ready for the one-on-one. You need some seatbelts. You need some scuba diving lessons first before you do the one-on-one. You cage diving with a great white. You need to get the cage a couple times. Check the water temperature and all of that. I'm teasing. My one-on-ones are intense. Tara, I'm telling you. Yeah, you got to take some swimming lessons first. You don't just, you know what I'm saying? When you go to, you don't just dive in the 20 foot, you know, side of the swimming pool. You got to get in that 2 feet, 3 feet, you know. Don't just dive into the ocean if you've never been in the ocean before. No, I'm teasing. But yeah, I do the one-on-ones. Yeah, that part right there. Yeah, baby steps. You know, it's. I tell. Let me tell you why I say that. Let me tell you why I say that. Because it's not about money for me. That's what you guys have to understand. It's not about money for me. If it was about money for me, I'd be pushing coaching. Anybody that's a student of mine that's on this platform that's been rocking with me has never heard me mention book me as a coach. You will never hear me tell you to book me as a coach. Why? Because you don't need me as a coach. You don't need me. Do I want to do coaching with you? Sure. If it's convenient, we'll make it happen. But you don't really need me as a coach, right? I'm expensive as a coach. You don't need me. I'm not going to tell you you need a Rolls Royce if you don't really need the Rolls Royce. I'm going to tell you, you might only need this Honda over here. You might need this Mercedes Benz. You don't need to spend all of that if it's not necessary. Now, if there's some unique situation where you're like, no, coach, I've got a unique situation going on here where I need you to well, that's a different conversation. But for most people, you don't really need me as a coach. And that's showing you how much I represent God. I'm not going to sell you something that I know you don't need, that I know that if you just bring the burning desire, if you just bring your will and your drive to become something greater than you are in this moment, it's really all you'll need. You don't need a lot when you have desire, because desire is the bridge that transforms everything. When you have passion and desire, it's game over. It's game over. Nobody can stop you when you've got passion and desire. Coupled with the right information, and you got me, you know, and you're shadow boxing with me on the lives every single day. Most people lives who have been transformed have never been in the same room with me and God's girl. They've never been in the same room with us before. Never. In fact, I can make the argument 99.9% of the people whose lives have been transformed have never been in the same room with us before. Not on a Zoom call, not on some FaceTime, never. They just had desire. That's why I tell you guys, you gotta have desire. If you bring desire, the transformation will happen for you. If you don't bring desire, no transformation will happen to you. I don't care who's coaching you. It wouldn't matter who was coaching you. You could have the most powerful person in the world coaching you. It wouldn't matter. Desire is all you need. And all of the people that are in my community now that I'm so proud of, they just have desire. That's it. Because desire it melts excuses away. It melts procrastination away. It melts, you not having a growth mind. Your mind is open. When you have desire, your mind is open. You're not walking in with some fixed mentality about how you think things should be. You're open. It's like that person that's out in the middle of the desert, right? And they've been out there for, 3 days and they're so thirsty. I want you to picture this in your mind's eye. That person that's out in the desert, they've been in the desert for 3 days. If they go one more day, they're going to die out there. So they're walking around out in the desert. They're so thirsty in that moment. Now, in that moment, if I walk up to that person, whether I give that person water out of my hands, whether I give it to them out of a cup, whether I give it to them out of something, it doesn't matter. They just want the water in that moment. They're not like, but when a person is not thirsty, it's like, oh, I don't drink out of that. Is that bottled water? Did you get that out of your sink or out of the water hole? I need filtered water? I only drink carbonated water, coach, or sparkling water. You're not ready for me. I want the person that's walking out in the desert right now that's like, coach, I need change. Coach, this doesn't work for me anymore. Coach, I can't keep moving through life the way that I've been moving through life. It's not working. That's who I want to meet, because you're already there. You're already 75% of the way there. Now, only thing I've got to do is plug in the information because I know you're going to do the work. Aquarian Goddess and all of those people like that, all done the work. Lynetta's done the work. Vanny's done the work. Tara's done the work. Kale's done the work. Red's done the work. You know what I'm saying? D has done the work. These are people, Sefe, my brother, all doing the work. Musa doing the work. These are people that are doing the work. Nephi's doing the work. So I don't worry. Right? I don't worry. It's people that are meeting me at least halfway. Damn, I can't meet you halfway. But if you walking around, you need a special type of water, special type of filter. And Coach, I'll make the time. I'll try to figure out when I have time, in my schedule. I don't even want to talk to you because you're not ready. Not because I don't have love for you. Not because I don't want to see you become something greater. Because you're not there yet. You're practicing self-awareness, or you want to practice self-awareness because you're doing it from some external force. You're trying to impress people. You're doing it because it's the hot thing right now. Everyone's talking about it on social media. So it's like, oh, let me start doing that. No. I don't, that person I can't coach. I want the person that's, coach, what we doing? Where we going? How we doing it? Other than that, that's it. Do you guys have any other questions regarding the community before, I disconnect from this live? Any other community related questions before I disconnect to this live? Turning heads, perfect example of someone that transformed their entire life. Never sat in the same room, never been on a Zoom call, never, no FaceTimes, none of that. She brought desire, her hunger, her thirst to become something great. Doesn't mean she wasn't amazing already, but her hunger, thirst, and desire to become something greater than she is in this moment is what made the transformation happen. She was the transformation. She just needed the right information and the right coach and somebody that's going to love her and believe in her and show up for her, not criticize her, not judge her for who she used to be. We ain't got time for that. We don't have time for none of that. Yeah, we're going live in the community tonight, you guys. We are going live in the community tonight. So I will see you guys 7 p.m. inside the community tonight. Stay powerful today. No weak energy. Stay powerful today. What does that mean? Speak your truth. I don't give a damn